Hey guys, welcome back. I'm FilthyRobot, continuing our D&D campaign. This is session 5, episode 2. We're episode 5, session 2. I don't know, whatever. The 5th recording session with the second part of it, with Xylo, Solitaire, Galg, and Ricky. And I'm hurting from some spicy food right now. But a quick recap from last session. We continued in the Goblin Cave. We fought some goblins, encountered a couple goblins, a wolf, and a bugbear. The bugbear, after a couple rounds of combat, disappeared down a hole which we could not catch him. He yelled, "Yo, this is not the last you'll see of Clark," which is a character we know from previously, and we were unable to catch him, so it does seem like he will have a chance to come back to haunt us, and we have a goblin left to interrogate. I think that's where we're going to continue from last episode.
So just so everyone's on the same page, because everybody's laughing at this, it's Clark with a G at the end.
Clark.
Oh, it's Clark, not like Clark Kent. Okay.
Not like the human name Clark Kent, no.
It's not Super Bear. Okay, that's good. I got a little bit worried. I didn't know where we'd find kryptonite in this campaign, so... Good.
All right.
Clark.
So, William, you're currently there with said little goblin.
Yes. I would love to tie him up with my rope from my back.
Yeah, what type of tie are you going to use?
Sorry, what?
How are you going to tie him?
It's like... Let me like...
Spread eagle, or...
Oh, it's like around his, like...
Describe the knot.
What?
Yeah, it has to be the knot.
Around his body, it's like his hands, so it's like he will be able to, like, if he wants, like, to move when he wakes up, but like he shouldn't be able to use his hands.
What's your survival modifier?
It's like survival modifier 0.
Okay.
I thought that was Dex. Just a general Dex thing.
What?
No?
Survival? No.
No, not survival. Obviously not survival. Just like using a rope, though.
Things like tying people up is survival.
Okay.
Basically, if it's about Boy Scout stuff, it's survival.
That's not where I use it mostly. It's not where I learned it.
Oh, I know. Alright, so, yeah, he seems reasonably well tied up.
Okay.
I assume at some point I'd catch up to Aust.
Yeah.
Is he still ahead, or did you lose him?
No, he's in the forest.
Should we head back?
Gone.
Should we head back to the other two?
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
At
That's
this point in time, I'll still be running towards the entrance.
Yeah, and at some point you cross paths and see, like...
Yeah. We basically group up here and we're, like, very defeated because he got away. And go back up to the tied up goblin.
I asked Sinta along the way. I asked him what the smoke spell he keeps using on them is. I've never quite seen it.
It's sleep. It causes.
Oh no, not
creatures...
sleep. I know sleep. The other one, the one that like projects light at them and then puts smoke around them, but doesn't do anything else. What is that?
He's making a joke.
Right. I think I did hit with Firebolt at one point.
Are you sure?
You did.
But not,
No,
not
I
today.
think you're like 0 and 5.
Okay.
I think you missed everything.
Okay.
Except his book.
Yeah.
And sleep.
All right, so I'll head to sorry, I guess that wasn't funny. Sorry, Gal. I'll head to the other... We're doing that a lot this campaign. I'll head to the other room with the group. If you can just drag me, Sully.
Okay, sure.
Thanks.
So, how did it go, guys? Did you get him?
Unfortunately not.
No, Clark remains elusive.
I still think I'm going to call him Clark.
So, like,
Your
at one
choice.
point, I just tied the goblin, and it's like, can anyone even speak? Like, goblin? Can we, like, interrogate him, or...
Well, they kind of speak common.
I hope this...
So
but I guess they will just curse us to hell, so...
well, I've learned that interrogation sometimes requires physical pain, so that might help with the interrogation.
Dark things about Galg's past here.
So we are all heroes. I want to, like, slap the goblin to wake him up.
Alright.
I
Slap.
pull Aust aside right before that happens and said, "Are you seriously going to torture this creature?"
No, I just want to wake... Oh, you mean to Galg?
I'm not talking to you, Ricky.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Is the plan really to torture this creature?
You're asking Aust?
Yep. I assume he's been acting as the leader of the group to me, so that's as my knowledge of, someone who wasn't part of this. That's my understanding.
I think he's thinking.
I wasn't particularly planning on it, but if that's the only way to get him to tell us where this fortress where Gundren is, then maybe.
I won't be a part of this. I won't stop you, and I won't try to stop you, but I will not actively participate in this.
All right. You want to guard the entrance for a few minutes then until we're finished?
I can do that. I'm willing to do that. Okay.
All right.
Just before we go to the torturing thing, can we try to intimidate him a little bit first? He might be scared for his life and tell us something.
Is that how
Just
you
to be
approach
clear,
that?
Just to be clear, the whole torturing thing really isn't going to do anything.
I also don't think so, but it's we need to get some information out of him.
Do whatever you want.
Filthy, I'm going to give you inspiration for that. That was a good role-playing moment.
Thank you.
So you can take inspiration for that.
Thank you.
I also think what my character should do, because I'm also good, but he's not human being like this, and they killed my companion the last time, so it's
So you're saying you have a racist god? He doesn't have the same skin color as you, so doesn't really
I
count.
thought you left Kuthla.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the other room. My bad.
So this isn't about God, it's about justice, and
Yeah, I mean...
justice needs to be done against all goblins.
Okay, so is the goblin awake at this point?
So we go with the waking up goblin now.
You wake up the goblin, and he goes kind of wide-eyed, and you bound his hands and his feet as well. He's looking around at all of you, and then he bares his teeth towards you, William, and he goes.
I just want to check what was the dwarf's name now. I can't remember names.
Gundren.
So you have
Gundren.
do you have a dental gag as well?
No, I didn't gag him.
Oh, okay.
I will ask, where is the second, where is the dwarf that was in this cave before? Where did you send him? Hang on.
I'm not telling anything.
Even if it will cost you your life?
He's just breathing. Is that an attempt to intimidate him?
Yeah, that was the...
Roll me an intimidation check.
Yeah.
Okay, he bares his teeth at you and continues on, breathing quite heavily. And you see him kind of struggling against the ropes at this point.
So I assume that all just left, or it's in the entrance.
Is he speaking in common, Solly?
Yeah, that was common. That was common. William spoke to him in common, so he replied in common.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, seems like a number of things won't work on him, so Sinta, if you want to take over, but I would prefer...
Well,
Alright,
I've read
so
about it. I haven't actually done it
fire.
before.
Oh, is it Xylo?
Alright, Sinta, apply fire.
Firebolt. I'll firebolt at the goblin next to him. I'll fire a firebolt.
The dead one?
Yes, the dead one.
The corpse?
Yes.
But I will, while Sinta is doing something, I will turn away. I won't be looking at it.
Roll me an attack with disadvantage because he's prone.
But technically, it's incapacitated.
Doesn't matter.
It's a very dodgy dead goblin.
You hit Sinta for once. Amazing.
15 is a hit, and so the firebolt goes out and like incinerates this body of the dead goblin. He looks towards you and like looks back. Sinta, roll me an intimidation check.
I'm not exactly very intimidating, but sure.
Well, that was quite intimidating, apparently. Or it was an attempt at being intimidating. Alright. So he looks towards you and says, Dwarface goes to the keep!
And where is this keep?
I not been to keep, but Clark no. Clark has been to keep.
Is there another hideout that Clark uses? Apart from this one?
I don't know.
So what do you know?
He doesn't say anything.
He knows he's going to be dead soon.
I want to
Did you say
ask.
that?
Yep.
Okay. He looks towards you and like he struggles against the ropes a little bit more.
Yep, that's what I figured. He's not going to know anything. You guys can just put him out of your misery if you'd like.
I want to ask once more just to where he would go from here. Like, where would Clark go from here? Is there like specific place?
I no say nothing till let me go.
Sinta, would you be so kind?
I'll cast Firebolt at the wall.
And
Next to
while
it.
he's like going to do something, I will start like walking away from that scene.
I'll cast Firebolt at the wall next to it.
Because
And before Goblin breaks loose, kills Sinta.
Roll me an attack with firebolt
On the wall?
on the wall.
I don't know what happens if he misses. Hits another wall.
Yeah, same here.
7.
Oh no, he's not going to hit the wall if he misses. Okay, but this one is not bad enough miss, so you do indeed hit the wall, which is not terribly intimidating to a goblin.
Okay, can we use like insight or whatever the heck it's called to tell if
Okay, so he like sees this firebolt go out against the wall, and he struggles a little bit more against these ropes, and he manages to wriggle his hands and his feet free. He picks himself up. He moves 3, 4, and then he's going to jump down.
and he busts his ass.
Serves him right. He got like 4 fucking escape rolls for 3 questions. So serves him right if he falls on his ass right now. What's he do?
So
He jumps down the hole
that
and...
You don't know. You can't see him.
Do you guys want to retreat in? I turn to the rest of the
Ost, as soon as Ost notices that he breaks free, then he dives down the hole again.
Okay, so you dive down the hole and you see a dead goblin at the bottom with like broken legs.
With broken legs.
Actually, that's the perfect because I don't have to feel that I kill like unarmed goblin because he kills himself.
Yeah, that's actually fine. See, perfectly clear conscience.
Okay.
All right, so then I'm gonna shout up the hill. Oh, he killed himself by accident, guys. Let's just loot the place and get out of here. And then I'll still go back around to rejoin them.
I'll meet up with Aust and say, isn't there more of this book? Isn't there more of this area to explore?
I don't see any more. Do you?
I thought there... Oh, there isn't. I'm sorry. I thought there was more north when we came of this area.
Nope.
No. Okay.
No, the north area just loops back around into where we're at. That's how Sinta got to us originally.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to check if this goblin had something on him and like if there's like some boxes to check if there is something inside of them.
Okay, so you in this room, you find sort of change of 600 copper pieces, 110 silver pieces, and 2 phials with a red liquid in them. You also find a
You writing all this down?
a frog statuette made of a green material, and it's got 2 golden orbs in the place of its eyes. Small enough to like fit in your pocket or something like that. The boxes are all wooden crates, and they all have an insignia on it, with a blue background and a silver 8-pointed star on it as well.
Do I recognize any of those insignia?
Roll me an investigation check.
To any of us recognize it?
it's
He was the one asking. Okay. No, but if you were to point it out, the others could make an attempt.
It's a different. blue
Eventually, you
insignia.
guys would all notice it and see the boxes. So, like, everybody roll me an investigation check. Okay, Sinta, you recognize it as the symbol of the Argent Star Coster, which was the company inside Alder Bridge which sold Aust his armor. And we're also selling health potions.
So it's not the same as the blue crest that the soldiers in the town north of us have.
No, it's not the same as that one.
Okay.
That was much more about a navy type blue. This is much more of an azure.
Gotcha. And then the what looks like a jade idol that doesn't have any similarity to the in the graveyard. There was that jade or that what was it in the graveyard that you guys were interested in?
It's a gravestone with a
Right.
flame that has
Never
no source.
Oh, okay. I thought there was some other like idol type thing, but okay, never mind that. And then the red vials, like I suppose, just hand them to Sinta and ask him if he knows what they are.
Can I... What should I roll for that?
Do you have identify?
No.
No?
Do you have like, what do you have? Are you just looking at it?
Detect magic, I guess.
Okay. If you were to detect magic on it, is that what you want to do?
I have to cast it as a ritual though, so
That's
it'll
fine.
take about 10 minutes. Okay.
An Arcana check could be done over a short rest.
Okay. Detect magic would take about 10 minutes, I guess. For me, would take about... Yep. So that would be faster.
Okay. As Sinta is doing his next little dance, I will approach Aust and I'll say to him, I think that ends my obligation to you. Thank you for your teaching. Appreciate your letting me share in your rituals.
Anytime. You were quite helpful.
I happen to notice that you had some interest in pursuing the orcs that the town had posted about.
At some point, we will, yes. They might not necessarily be right away.
I find myself in a foreign land without a source of income and some need to stay here. I could also use some income. If you would have me, I would come along, but perhaps as an equal member as opposed to this obligation here where I come just because I owe you.
I'm assuming that everyone can hear this, right?
I'm talking to you directly, but if they're around, I'm not trying to hide my voice.
Okay. So then Aust would like look at everyone else and just be like, yeah, fine by me. But
Yeah.
it's kind of also like implying that he's up for input from the rest of the group.
I'm also fine. I think that you'll be a good addition to the group. and you were very helpful in this fight, so yeah, I'm fine with that.
Excellent.
I'm concentrating on the ritual, so
While he's doing the ritual, I just want to ask the others, like, is anyone hurt actually? Because I don't remember, it's like if anyone did get like hit or something like that.
Gal, can you please make sure you're keeping track of your spell slots? Because I'm looking at your character sheet and it still says you have 3 spells available.
no, I used up all 3, so it's 3 out of 3. That's how I'm counting it.
Alright.
Yeah. So it actually goes up rather than down. Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Opposite everybody else needs.
Yeah, that's very opposite, but okay.
Well,
It's like, when my HP reaches my maximum HP, that's when I'm dead.
Right.
so
Right.
to your response to that, then I'll give a small bow and say, then until our past part, I look forward to your company, and I'll go back to kind of just waiting on, I guess, Sinta to finish his
The
dances.
dance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was
So over
mildly wounded, William.
Sorry?
I was mildly wounded, William. Nothing critical, but
Nothing critical. But it doesn't seem to be like any additional fight. Do you want me to do something about it, or will we have like some short rest soon? Or what do you expect to be happening now?
I can't imagine we get in another fight before we rest. So maybe
So-
some healing and then we rest eventually.
Okay. Yeah, I will cast Lay on Hands on Aust, but because I don't know how. Okay, let's say that I will use 4 points of Lay on Hands. I'm not sure
Excellent.
if it will put you at full or
Excellent.
something, but so,
It's not, but that's fine.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, so
Just
4
wait
points.
for the dance.
and it's like
So- 10 minutes
Watching.
go past, and these are giving off a sense of... Give me a second. Yeah, these are giving off evocation magic.
Can you look at the Jade Idol also?
Yep. It should last for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, so you take a
Yep.
look at the Jade Idol. It doesn't appear to be magical.
Nope.
It's just very pretty.
Mm-hmm. What does strike me is that these have 2 golden orbs, and we were just told about a lizard with 2 golden orbs a couple of
In
hours
the
back.
cave. Yep, in the
Yeah.
cave.
So I'm not sure if this is related to everything that's going on, but
It might be coincidence, but we'll find out when we eventually go to that cave. I suppose if there's nothing else here, then
didn't you want to also check the potions with this, or?
We did.
yeah, let's do
it
check.
is magical. I can't exactly tell you what it is.
That would require identify.
We'll have to
Yes.
find someone who knows identify.
What is that, like a first level spell or something?
Yeah.
It's a ritual too.
I can't
Oh,
take that
okay.
many spells as well, so it's probably my next spell. But okay, that's all.
Are we headed back to town?
I can't see any reason not to.
Okay. Well, just as we start to exit the cave, I guess I want to keep my eyes open in case Clark is hanging out for us. But when we feel safe, when we're back on the road again, and when we feel safe, I would like to talk to Aust. So just let me know when we're there, Sully.
Okay. Yeah, he's not lying in wait for you guys within the cave itself. So you managed to make it out into the woods again. No problem.
Okay.
Before we actually go back to town,
Well, this
If
is a
you guys-
conversation that we should definitely be having right now. What were you going to bring up?
Before we go to town, since we're almost like so far north of town anyways, we could consider stopping by to find that orc encampment to the northeast, since we're already kind of here.
You want to check it on our way back?
It's something to consider.
Well, we could
Oh,
camp.
right.
We could camp the night and
but
check
we
it out in
should
the morning.
have rest before that.
Yeah, exactly. Like head up towards the orc place, but encamp before we get there, instead of going back down to town and then back up.
I agree. But I do say to the group of you, it wasn't my business before, but now that I seem to be looks like I'll be spending some time with you. I happen to notice your interactions with the Red Brands. That is going to be something you're going to have to deal with. People like that in my travels, in my experience, people like that are not going to leave you alone, especially if you back down. They are going to pursue you, antagonize and harass you and force a reaction. So before we go back to town, we should really, now that I'm a part of this, we should really we have a decision to be made. We need to decide what we're going to do about that. So certainly I'm happy to go chase the orcs, perhaps pick up the bounty. That would be wonderful. That would be very helpful for my goals too. But we need to have some plan about the Red Brands.
Yeah, I think the plan was to check.
We don't have to make it now. We could do it after the orcs, but I don't want to wander back into town.
It's like from the information we have from the kid that we can check the how out of there.
Yep, I think I overheard parts of that portion is good. But we need some sort of game plan, something to do next time that you are approached by Red Brands in public, because they are going to ramp up these type of people. They're planning on extortion. They're planning on cowing people into obedience. They're going to ramp up the pressure they put on you every time they encounter you. That's just how it works.
So I understand what you're saying. So the point is basically, if we decide that we're going to do something specific about it, we have to agree that if they try and instigate us beforehand, that we all agree to just
figure out
brush it off.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
One or the other. It may be ignore them. It may be do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's something to be said about blooding the nose of a bully.
Right. Well, I feel like before we decide that the next time we run into them that we should fight them, we should investigate whatever's on the top of the hill in the middle of, or to the east of town.
Okay.
Perhaps find out whatever's in the hole that Pip said with the eyes, that probably or could have something to do with the Red Brands as well.
Sure, but that's going to be the likelihood. Either we need to approach at night, or the likelihood is we'll run into them before we get to that if we're just hanging out around town. Okay.
Right.
So let's track these orcs. If you guys want to collect that bounty, it certainly would be helpful. Perhaps we could upgrade some of the. We could invest in a little bit more gear for the group or equipment for the group. Should we track these orcs?
There's an argument for either.
I think you're spot on with the fact we're already this far from town. We might as well head up that way after. Yeah, Sinta, Ricky, William.
Yeah, I think that's fine. It's like with either way, because I'm not experienced with like trekking and stuff, so it's like I will leave it to Aust to decide.
I mean, we still have our potions from the last time. We didn't use them, so I would say we are fairly geared up. But I do think we need to rest before we start.
Sure, Scott. I mean, I don't know what time of day it is. What time of day is it? Sorry?
Evening.
Evening.
It's It's around dinner time.
Okay. Let's spend the night and then go pursue the orcs.
Let's not spend the night at the cave, but
sure. Okay, a little ways out. Sure.
Right. I'm curious. Based on the description that the mayor gave us, how far away are we from wherever we expect the orcs to be?
Do you remember what the mayor said?
Yeah, it was like next to the river, the Vorma River.
So basically anywhere on the map.
Wyvern Bray? Where's Wyvern Bray?
The name of it was Wyvern Braid.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, I had that written down. See, that's the thing. Aust, as a character, would have remembered that. Because it would have been, like, yesterday in-game that he asked the mayor that.
Yep, but you didn't ask anyone where it was, specifically.
We do have maps.
We did ask the mayor.
You have this map. It's not marked on it.
Right.
This is the map you have.
Oh. Oh, interesting.
And he gave you a description of where it was.
So what you're saying is that we don't have any idea where the orcs are?
If all that you've got to go by is it's next to the River Vorma, no, you don't have any idea where the orcs are.
Well, no, it
said
was
north
that...
of town, right?
It said north of town.
So what was it again, William? Or not William? Sinta? Like Wyvern's Rest or something?
Wyvern Bray.
Something to be said for taking notes, guys. It's not my job to hold your hand through all of this.
Well, he literally has notes. Wyvern Bray, north of town.
This is the name of it,
river.
yes. But there was a description of where it was.
I don't have that.
Yeah, all I wrote down was Wyvern's Bray also. Well, I guess we're not going to the orcs, guys, because we did not ask anyone in town where Wyvern's Bray was, despite finding out that they're at Wyvern's Bray.
Yep.
Okay.
Can I do an intelligence check to see if I remember it as my character?
No. Alright. It's a very cheap way of just getting me to repeat everything that I ever say. Is can I make an intelligence check to remember? No. You are your character for all intents and purposes. Okay. It's the same reason why, like, charisma characters, I don't allow you to just say, oh, I'm going to intimidate him.
Right.
It's a role.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool.
Okay, cool. I know it's frustrating, but... Yeah.
And that's fine. You're establishing a precedent. We will adjust to it. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Was Kuthla actually there for that interaction with the town master?
I think so.
No, I wasn't in the room with him.
yeah.
But
I think it was only Aust.
I saw.
Yeah.
I saw. Aust said he was going to go in to ask about the bounty on the orcs.
That's right. That's right.
That's
Right.
all. I don't know the details. That's all I know about it.
Okay. All right. So, you guys are heading back to town?
You
Yep.
wanted to rest or
Yeah, I think we're spending the night out here.
and then go back to town? Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so,
like,
where
like-
in proximity to the town would you be looking to rest for the night?
We don't want to rest. We don't want to rest in town, and we don't want to rest at the Goblin Cave. So we just travel some.
Yeah, I'd say about an
Some
hour out of town
percentage.
would be fine.
That's fine.
So, but we're about 4 hours out of town, right? So we'll spend about 2 hours traveling camp.
Okay.
Sounds
Would
good.
you be traveling through the forest, or are you trying to get back to the road and then travel through the road?
The road.
Okay. So, with 2 hours, you'd be able to get back to the road. So you're camping there?
Yep.
Not
All right.
on the road, but like just a little bit off the road. Yeah.
I get you.
Uh-huh.
I get you. Okay, cool. So you take your time, you set up the camp. It's still early evening. Well, it's getting on a bit. The sun is cresting over the mountains to the west. All right. I think William is first on the
Yeah.
Watch order?
Should be. Yeah.
All right. What's your perception modifier?
Perception modifier 0.
Okay, cool. All right. So everyone is still kind of like awake at this point and just talking about what went down in the pursuit of these goblins and the bugbear seemingly getting away, not really getting that many answers but also kind of like pondering how you could have maybe done things differently. To the point that, you know, the goblin did suffer the fate he did. But maybe, you know, he had knowledge but was just not willing to share it with you at that point.
I'll think today about that.
All right, cool. But as far as your watch is concerned, not a whole lot happens in that regard. And then we switch to...
I know Aust is third, so...
I think it's Sinta.
That'll be me.
It's Sinta, I think.
+3.
All right. Okay.
During my watch, I'll also like to look at the statuette a little closely, more closely, to see if there are any inscriptions on it, if there are any grooves, or maybe hidden
There are
mechanisms.
grooves, but in keeping with like a frog, it's the texture of it isn't entirely smooth. It's actually been molded to be like that. But you can't find any inscriptions or things like that on it.
Okay. Or any hidden mechanisms.
It strikes you as just a small statuette of some kind, a trinket.
Okay.
All right. Okay, who's it? And you're thinking a little bit about the interrogation of the goblin also, and like, it's the first time you've really done that, tried to intimidate something like that, and that it was actively trying to resist you. Again, maybe there was something that could have been done differently, is sort of plaguing your mind a little bit there. Okay, switching to Aust, yeah?
Mm-hmm. +1 perception.
All right. Okay. So your watch is going through to the night. You hear the hooting of night owls, and there's some sort of smaller, more leathery like wings that you hear as you just kind of like close your eyes and focus on things a little bit, but uneventful in that regard.
Spend most of the 2 hours brooding that Clark got away.
That Clark got away, yeah. All right, and then it's Kuthla.
I have 5 to my perception modifier.
All right, and it's with disadvantage because you can't really see that well outside of the campfire. All right. Okay. All right, and you just think a little bit as well about the companions that you have at this point. Seem to be quite desperate to find this dwarf. Maybe it's a lead. All right. Cool. All right. Shall we take a break there?
Sure.
Just at the end of watches.
Yeah, sure.
All right. We'll see you guys shortly. Thanks for watching.